this is Fernando Vega with the CryoCeo podcast. We're coming to you from Cryocon 2024, and I'm very excited to go ahead and introduce you to Catharine with Energy Bits. Energy Bits is an amazing product, and as you know, we'd like to make these podcasts as informative, educational, everything, so you understand. So, because if you currently are looking to get into the industry, are in the industry, or want to just make better decisions for your wellness in your life, we like to bring in the right stuff. And Catharine, you developed a product that is absolutely amazing. I mean, I met you a few years ago. Every time I raid your booth, I'm not gonna lie.
That's what we're here for.
I raid the booth every time.
Yeah.
This morning, like I said, I may have taken 15 to 30 little bits this morning of energy, but
good man.
But it's like
you're feeling the algae love.
Yeah, I love it. I love the algae love. And so if we can go ahead and introduce yourself, and everybody know who you are.
Yeah. Well, my name is Catharine Arnston. I'm the founder and CEO and chief scientific officer of our company, which is Energy Bits. That's ENGRYBITS. Our website's energybits.com. And we sell algae in tiny tablets that we affectionately call bits because they're tiny. They're tiny bits of food. They're cute looking. They're about the size of a baby aspirin. Yeah. And algae is very either misunderstood or not known at all in the United States. However, it is a multi-billion, that's with a B, billion-dollar agricultural crop in Asia. So 2 key points there. First of all, algae is a crop. Algae does exist in the oceans, the lakes and streams, and yes, it does. There's algae blooms, but that's not the kind of algae we're talking about. This is algae that is grown what's called hydroponically. So it's grown in fresh water. So it's not from the ocean, even though there is algae in the ocean. Spirulina and chlorella algae are the 2 that we're talking about, and I'll explain why ours is considered the highest quality and the safest. But in Asia, they have been growing this in fresh water for over 60 years, 60. And they take it every day. In Japan, they do not take supplements. They only take chlorella algae and sometimes spirulina because, as you're going to find out, it is the most nutrient-dense food in the world. It's been endorsed by NASA for 50 years as having 1,000 times more nutrition than any other vegetable. It's been endorsed by the United Nations for 50 years, spirulina is, as the answer to world hunger because it has the highest concentration of protein in the world, 3 times the amount of protein as steak. And it's all ingestible. It's bioavailable, 90% bioavailable, and it's eco-friendly. So the cool thing about algae is that it's used safely and have been for 60 years. It's an industry that's as big as the beef industry is here in Asia. It's the most studied food in the world. There are almost 100,000 studies documenting the health benefits. We'll talk about some of them today, like preventing heart disease, preventing inflammation, preventing Alzheimer's, improving your gut, improving your energy, improving your focus, all documented in science. So, and as you're going to learn, everything that algae does elevates, improves, deepens, and extends the benefits that you get from any of the biohacks, whether it's cryotherapy, red light therapy, massage, heat therapy, cold plunges, everything. And I'll give you the protocols of how to take them before, which one you take before and which one you take after. So now you've got a product that is highly scientifically proven, used safely for 60 years. By the way, it's the oldest life on Earth. And when you add it to whatever treatments you're doing, not only do you improve the benefits for your clients, you generate another revenue stream. You can either build it into your treatments and you sell it at retail. And because once people start taking this, they literally never stop. Yeah. So it's a recurring revenue stream. And it takes about 1.5 square feet in your space. So it's not like your big cryo devices that take up 2/3 of your space. And I did some calculations on the revenue per square foot and will blow your mind. So I'm here to help people understand what algae is, why it's good for everybody to use even at home, and why and how to incorporate it easily into your treatments so that you get better results and increased revenue.
That's great to hear, because one of the things that we always want to do is whenever you bring some kind of new product into your office, you want to know about it. You want to know about it. You want to read about it. You want to everything that there
Try
is
it.
about it. Try it out. See it for firsthand experience. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah.
Whenever I bring anything into the office, I try it out to see if it works, and then my staff does, and then they're like, either it's a thumbs up, thumbs down.
Right.
Sometimes it's both. But
or toes up, thumbs up, toes up,
down.
everything. Yeah. I call it, people know spirulina as a superfood. I call it a super duper food.
There you go, super duper dude. Yeah, and it's funny you say that because we when I first brought the samples to my office, I remember it had it out, and the staff's like, "Okay, what's that?" And they were like, "My tongue is blue, my tongue is green," and I was like, "It's because it's good stuff. Just don't worry about it. You're fine." And and they started noticing the difference.
Yeah.
And they started ordering it.
Yeah.
And and we have it in the office, and the girls at the office, they take it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
As
they
got a lot
should.
of runners, yeah. So now you talked about one of the things that I enjoy is clinical studies.
Yeah.
You said there's a lot of clinical studies that are out there showing with heart prevention. One of the things that we're doing with the cryo industry or the wellness industry, it's all becoming very biohacking.
Yes.
How can we live longer? How can we go ahead and correct things that are out there? And what has you've seen with the clinical studies on your products so far?
Yeah. Well, what I might do is explain the difference between spirulina and chlorella, because the benefits are different first. And so the clinical trials that are related to the benefits are also different. Okay. So spirulina, which is a blue-green algae, and that's why we package ours in blue, although we have a second brand called Beauty Bits because women didn't like the blue packaging. So I have a girl spirulina and a boy spirulina, but they are identical. Okay. But anyways, we called our spirulina Energy Bits because it's documented to give you energy, and it does this in a couple of ways. Energy, it satisfies your hunger. There's 0 carbs, by the way, so it's great for intermittent fasting because it doesn't interfere with your fast. It's great if you're on a ketogenic diet. By the way, also carnivores, listen up, because there are no lectins or oxalates in this, so a lot of people do go carnivore because they've been having autoimmune from lectins and oxalates in lots of plants like nightshades. None of that in here because algae started in the ocean. So spirulina satisfies your hunger, gives you energy in the moment, and also long-term because it has nutrients in it not found in any other food that enhance, protect, and your mitochondria, which are in all of your cells and which generate what's called ATP, which is cellular energy. Mm-hmm. So the way it gives you energy is a couple of fold. In the immediacy, it's loaded with protein, has the highest protein, as I mentioned, in the world. And all of the protein is already in amino acid form. Okay. Your body cannot digest animal protein. It has to break it down into what's called individual aminos. Mm-hmm. And then it gets absorbed. But the great thing about spirulina and chlorella, the protein's already in aminos. 18 of the 20, including the 9 your body can't make. And it's loaded with B vitamins. B vitamins convert the aminos into energy. So within minutes if you chew it, and seconds if you chew it, and within minutes if you swallow it, you'll get a lift of focus and physical energy. And it's not like a stimulant. Stimulants increase the speed of molecules from your brain to your body, and
I'm going to grab some right now.
Yeah. Well, we'll take this one because that's chlorella. That won't give you energy. In fact, open it up so people can see the size of the tablet. Yeah. So you'll get the energy, but it's not a stimulant. It's taking a stimulant like caffeine or chemicals or sugar is like putting paper on a fire. You get a burst of energy and then you get a crash. Spirulina is like putting a log on the fire. It's very, very steady. If you were taking it before a workout, you would have a great workout. You would run further or faster and you wouldn't even notice it, or you would lift more and lift harder and you wouldn't even notice it. If you take it before a mental activity, you'll have more focus. If you take it before sleeping, so it's not, like I said, it's cellular energy. And the cellular energy, again, is like money. When you have more cellular energy, just like money, you can do more things and have more choices. So spirulina, a lot of the studies have been looking at the cellular energy, because when you increase cellular energy at the mitochondrial level, and spirulina also has 2 nutrients in it that protect the mitochondria. One is an antioxidant called superoxide dismutase. I know it's a long mouthful, also known as SOD, but there are 25,000 studies documenting how SOD has been proven to reduce inflammation, prevent Alzheimer's, prevent heart disease, prevent virtually any chronic disease. 25,000 studies, because what this superoxide dismutase does is it neutralizes the free radicals that are produced as a byproduct of ATP and turns them into harmless water. That's what superoxide dismutase does, and it's all documented. Here's the problem. You can't get superoxide dismutase in any food. It just doesn't exist. And our bodies create superoxide dismutase for us from the moment we're born until the age of 30. After the age of 30, your body slows down its production, just like it slows down production of melatonin, other hormones, glutathione. So by the time you're 40 or 50, your body is no longer making superoxide dismutase for you, and it doesn't exist in food anywhere. And it's in the highest concentration in the world in spirulina algae. So think of it, up until now, until your age of 30, with all these free radicals that are a byproduct of ATP, you need ATP because that's cellular energy, but you've had this, it's like being in a rainstorm, and you've had an umbrella called superoxide dismutase that protected you from the torrential rain of free radicals. You had that protection until the age of 40. After the age of 40, without having that superoxide dismutase being produced, it's like someone stole your umbrella, and now you are torrentially drowning in free radicals. Yeah. And this is what kills your mitochondria. Spirulina, because it basically is your umbrella again. It brings back the superoxide dismutase so it can protect your mitochondria from that cascade of free radicals. But there's a catch.
Yes.
Superoxide dismutase is also an enzyme. And most of the other algae companies, when they dry their algae, because they're lower priced and they need to get to market quickly, they use high heat to dry their algae. That deactivates, basically kills the superoxide dismutase. So when you're using lower priced algae, you're not getting the benefit of that superoxide dismutase because it's been deactivated. And I have the scientific papers that show that. There's also a cool nutrient in spirulina. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. It's the blue pigment. We know, actually, spirulina has two pigments. The green one, which most people know, which is called chlorophyll, and chlorella only has one pigment called chlorophyll. Spirulina has both chlorophyll and this blue one called phycocyanin. What does phycocyanin do? Well, it's proven to kill cancer cells. I'd say that was pretty important. Yeah. But once again, I have science that shows that it does this, that it is deactivated by high heat. So we're proud that we don't use high heat to dry our algae, so you're getting those benefits of the superoxide dismutase and the phycocyanin. And how this relates to the treatments, if you're doing cryotherapy or red light therapy, when you're doing those treatments, because spirulina is technically a bacteria, it gets absorbed into your bloodstream almost instantly. So in cryo, because your body is cold, it's pulling all the blood into your core because it thinks you're dying, and it wants to protect your organs. So if you take the spirulina prior to the treatment, now the blood, as it's pulled into the core, is so nourished with these things like superoxide dismutase that protects your mitochondria, and the blue phycocyanin that kills cancer cells or senescent cells, which are basically zombie cells. So it will give you a much more powerful benefit while you're in the treatment. And then when you step out of the cryo chamber or whatever, then it's also a vasodilator. So it opens up the blood vessels, and so the blood rushes out to the rest of your body faster, delivering all those rich nutrients to the rest of your body. The result is your client will have a much deeper, powerful treatment, and the nourishment will last longer, so the treatment will last longer. So it's a great add-on to have prior to the treatment. And most people swallow the tablets because they don't like the flavor. You can certainly chew them. At home, we recommend 10 tablets a day for maintenance purposes. Yeah. For any kind of treatment, we suggest a therapeutic amount, which is 30. So you'll get a much better treatment. And if you have a condition of any kind, heart disease, cancer, any kind of situation. 30 is the treatment amount. And by the way, there's so much nutrition in here. You can eliminate many of your other supplements, like a multi, a fish oil, a CoQ10, a biotin. So it saves people money, and it's food. You have to remember that it's food. So there's no contraindications at all. You can give this to your pets, to your babies, to your children, to your teenagers, to your grandparents. And so for people who are have a practice and their specialty is knowing the devices, you don't have to learn a lot about nutrition. It's just nutrient-dense food that delivers nutrients either not found in other foods or not found in higher quantities in other foods that just nourish your body, heal your mitochondria, whether it's your skin, your brain, or anything. So it's pretty effective. So there's lots of studies that show that. In fact, we did our own clinical trial because I'm sure people wouldn't know this, but again, mitochondria are the key to longevity. Protecting your mitochondria are the key to longevity. Cryo is great because it helps remove these senescent cells that are zombie cells so that the healthier cells don't have the inflammation by hanging out with it's like having your kids hang out with bad people. You don't want to be associating yourself with senescent cells because they're inflammatory and they mess up your good cells. So cryo helps remove those things so that you can give your body an opportunity to grow healthier mitochondria. Now, your mitochondria are found in the highest quantity in the cells where the greatest energy needs are. Number one is your brain. There are 2 million mitochondria per cell in your brain and your retina, by the way. The next after that is actually women's eggs, and after that it's your heart, and then it's your muscles. So we did so when you heal your mitochondria, you are automatically, the first thing that's going to get better is your brain, is your focus, is anything that has to do with brain health. And there's a great book by Dr. Chris Palmer called Brain Energy, and the entire book is about how all his studies have shown that PST, anxiety, any kind of brain disorder are due to damaged mitochondria. And because spirulina heals the mitochondria, it's the first step to healing brain. So we did our own little clinical trial, a small one in Florida with a nonprofit group called the Gray Team. And their purpose, they're based in Boca Raton, their sole purpose is to reduce the suicide rate of military veterans, which is at a heartbreaking rate of 35 to 50%. Think about that. Up to 50% of military veterans are committed suicide. I mean, it just makes you cry. So they're trying all sorts of different interventions. They are using brain tap. I think they're using cryo. So they want to do a little nutritional study with us. So we recruited 5 of their veterans who had been discharged for over 10 years because of mental anxiety and PST. One was a multiple sclerosis. And all we did was give them a pouch of our spirulina tablets, so 30 tablets a day. They were told not to do anything else, don't change any other lifestyle factors, and we did a brain scan of their brains before the study. We hooked them up to devices to measure their HRV and their sleep scores, and then we did a brain scan 30 days later. Within 30 days, the inflammation was completely gone. The gentleman with the multiple sclerosis, his tremors went away. And that was just from taking 30 a day. Now, they didn't even add the chlorella, and they could have taken even more because, when you have a condition, even more is better because it's food. So when we got all the brain scans, we're still writing the paper up.
Now, is it 30 like all in one morning? Or is it
well, we
the day?
suggested they take them all at once, but so if you want to have a great treatment, we'd recommend all 30 at one time. But you could take a smaller amount. If you want a great workout, if you're an elite athlete, 30 at one time is great. But if you're thinking, well, I'm going to take a pouch and I'm going to snack on them. We have people that, everybody at 2:00, your body temperature drops, and it's a natural thing that you start to have a fatigue moment, and that's when people rush out to ingest sugar or carbs to get a little boost or a coffee. You could take these. So maybe you start your morning with 10, and then you maybe have another 10 at lunch if you want, and maybe 10 at 2 when you have that slump. Or you could have 2 or 3. You won't notice as much if you take 2 or 3 at each time throughout the day, but it's like a glucose monitor. It's steady it's steady protein, steady chlorophyll, steady nutrients, keeping you on par because it gives you a very balanced blood sugar. It's great for diabetics. It's great for people who want to lose weight. If anybody that's on GLP-1 like the Ozempic, please get them to take this because the Ozempic you're not eating. So two things happen. You're not eating protein, so a lot of the weight loss is coming from muscle loss, not from fat loss. And number two, your cells are constantly regrowing every moment. So every day, 30 trillion cells die and 30 trillion grow back. But if you aren't giving your cells the nourishment they need, you're not going to have healthy cell growth, and you will have a health problem. Yeah. It's not, it's just a matter of when. So you can prevent that by taking this if you're on Ozempic. And by the way, if you want to lose weight, this is Mother Nature's equivalent of Ozempic because a pouch of 30 will satisfy your hunger for probably up to 5 hours, and you don't have any decrease in nutrients or decrease in protein, so you won't have muscle loss. It's pretty amazing stuff.
You just brought a bunch of key factors here that are amazing for somebody who wants to put this in their office.
Exactly.
I mean, there's we're in the business of health and wellness, and you have a product that covers a majority of that.
Yeah.
I mean, and then also tying it in with with one of the saunas, the cryo or the infrared, because the main thing is, with cryo and infrared, we're trying to detoxify the body. We're trying to remove all the toxins out of the body, either through sweat or, just, through urine or bowel movement or anything like that, that the body causes. So it's like,
yeah.
And this is one of the healthiest ways to do it.
Yeah, and so the mitochondria also strengthen when they're stressed, and they're stressed from the cold because they think they're dying. So it's a great combination of the spirulina before the cryo to nourish the body as the mitochondria nourish the mitochondria while they're being stressed by the cold. And then this is a great segue. After the treatment, then you take the chlorella. So chlorella has a completely different effect on the body. It doesn't satisfy your hunger. Won't help you with, well, it does sort of help with the weight loss. But what its claim to fame is, and again, documented in like 40,000 studies, is it detoxes the body. It chelates the body of heavy metals, glyphosate, pesticides. It also pulls out alcohol, lactic acid, anything, microtoxins, anything that shouldn't be there. I call algae, both of them, but particularly chlorella, intelligent food. Yeah. You have to be intelligent to take it, and it knows what to do in your body. It is the most unusual, special food in the world. Yeah. So when you take your cryo, for example, or your red light, take this afterwards, because red light also reduces inflammation, also causes things like senescent cells to be released. And so this is the cleanup crew. Chlorella is the cleanup crew. It pulls all those toxins out that were released. And even if you're losing weight, this also is important because your body stores your toxins in your fat because that's the safest place. So if you are on a weight loss program, you definitely want to be taking this because twofold. You want to get rid of those toxins as the body releases the fat. Mm-hmm. Number two, it works the other way. This pulls out toxins so the body goes, I guess I don't need that fat anymore. Yeah. So it helps speed up the fat release.
We're going to call it your AI. Your body's the AI. Instead of artificial intelligence,
this
is your
algae intelligence. Oh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, AI, algae intelligence. Honestly, algae intelligence, I thought I was the wordsmith. You nailed it. I say taking chlorella is like giving your body a shower from the inside. Yeah, but I like the AI, man.
No, this is perfect for it. I mean, I'm telling you.
Also, chlorella, spirulina has the highest protein in the world. Chlorella does have protein, but it has the highest chlorophyll in the world. And chlorophyll is a nutrient that was so well known for decades, centuries. It's sort of lost its priority in the midst of all these prescriptions because chlorophyll, the chemical composition is almost identical to your hemoglobin. And you can go online and find that. So when you take chlorella, you are building your blood. Even as recently as World War II, they used to, if they didn't have blood for transfusions for the injured, they would give them liquid chlorophyll and they would heal just as fast. This is why it builds your blood. But there isn't any chlorophyll in our vegetables anymore because our soils are so damaged, and this is why people are getting sick. There's not the nutrients. My arugula goes yellow after day 3. Why? Because there's no chlorophyll in there anymore.
No, you're absolutely right. Because really quick on a sidebar was, so we buy a lot of produce in our house, right?
Yeah.
And the produce will only last maybe three days
Yeah.
tops. I finally said, that's it. We're building our garden,
Yeah.
because it's like the nutrients aren't there.
They're not there. You're
know?
getting fiber and calories and not the nutrients. So thank you for and on that note, a lot of people stopped eating vegetables because they didn't have their garden, or they didn't live close to a grocery store, and they, let's face it, they're heavy to carry home and long time to clean and cook, and they threw most of it out either before they get to it. Like my cucumbers were getting slimy by the time I got to them. Right?
That. Yeah.
So algae, we have to put an expiry date on our tablets. 3 years, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're stocking your center, cryo center, don't worry about having to sell it in the next couple of months. You got 3 years to sell this, and then it actually never goes bad ever. Yeah. We aren't allowed to sell it after the expiry date.
Right.
But what vegetable lasts 3 years?
Exactly.
Crazy.
No,
right?
it's funny you say that, because literally right before I was packing for my trip to come out here, the cucumbers, they were all slimy and they're in the produce drawer, so they have the right humidity temperature set for them and everything, and they were bad. And I was like, the only thing that survived was the carrots, and we give that to and our dog. We have a little Malinois Dutch Shepherd. Her name is Rainey. She's the one who loves carrots. She eats her carrots every day. So I was like, Rainey's carrots. Yeah, she's got her carrots. So we're good to go. But this is fantastic. So let's talk about really quick about adding this to your
routine.
They did your routine into your practice to be able to educate your clients about it. You just educated us on all that, but the main thing is if somebody calls you and says, hey, I want to add this to my practice, what's the steps?
Well, we like to send you samples so that you can experience it yourself. I mean, they're just samples, so it's not full on. I mean, you could also buy them on our website, and we send you lots of science and literature so that I don't say anything, and my team doesn't say anything that we don't have a science reference for. So I want you to feel absolutely comfortable. We also have third-party lab tests. We test everything here in the United States, so you can be sure that the nutrients are what we say they are, that there are no toxins. We even have another lab that tests for microtoxins. Of course, we don't have any. So that's the first step. Get some information, get some product so you can try it. If you like it, then I get one of my sales execs to reach out to you, give you some more additional information. We have a very small opening order size. It's $1,000. We have you can order a la carte, whatever you want, or we have these pre-packaged set of products that come with a really attractive retail display. We affectionately call it an algae bar. I mean, there's juice bars, so let's have an algae bar. And there's a small one and a large one. And you get a bunch of free product with that. And once you've decided that you want to, set up a wholesale account, the next step is, and we require this, that you get a training from our nutritionist. It's done on Zoom. We record it and send it to you so that you can watch it over and over and over again. She also does one monthly for any, just a group training, but you get a private one-on-one training with her, because we want to be sure you know the product and we help you understand how to use it. So for red light, for example, most people, again, use the spirulina before and the chlorella after. Why is that? Well, there's some science which we can show you if you are involved with red light. They've found out that when you pair red light, either from the sunlight or from red light devices, and chlorophyll, it stimulates the CoQ10 molecule I'm getting geeky, I'm sorry about that, in the electron transport chain, which is how your cellular energy is produced. Bottom line is it generates cellular energy for you when you put chlorophyll and red light together. And when you have more ATP, that means you have more cellular energy to do more healing, to reduce inflammation, to improve your brain. Whatever needs the cellular energy to heal, you get more of it when you have the chlorophyll, and we recommend the spirulina just because it gets into your body faster. And then also after the red light, take the chlorella, because there will be, because red light also reduces inflammation, which causes some apoptosis or autophagy of the senescent cells. So again, you want to clean out those cells and those toxins, so the chlorella afterwards. Same with a sauna. Sauna is a great way for removing toxins, because toxins, especially chlorella, pulls out the toxins, but then you release it through sweat, breath, urine, and bowel movements. So before the sauna, take the spirulina. I mean, you could just take the chlorella if you wanted, but again, spirulina gets in faster. Chlorella takes in like an hour and a half. But definitely after the chlorella, because now the sauna is pulling all these toxins out, chlorella will hold on to it. It's sort of like the sauna is like calling the police force, and then the chlorella is the police force. They grab the perpetrator and put them in the car and get rid of them. So think of algae, especially the chlorella, as it's also known as building your immune system. And your immune system identifies invaders, kills them, and pulls them out. Well, that's basically what chlorella does. It identifies invaders, kills them, and well, your immune system kills them, but then the chlorella pulls them out.
And then you also supply with marketing materials to get
Marketing materials. I've written probably about 500 papers. We have 16-page articles, 4-page articles, 1-page articles. I create these cards that show top 10 benefits, top 5 benefits. So a lot of people just,
that you need
if you just want the sound bite, we got that for you. Excellent. You want more research, we got that for you. As someone said, it's like we got a bit for, it's like Oprah. We got a bit for that. We got a bit for that, and a bit for that. Everybody gets whatever they need. So we're here to help you. It's not complicated. We have made it uncomplicated. Other people don't even know what they have. So we're here to help you understand how to use it. The packaging is beautiful. People love our packaging. It causes your customer to say, "What's that? That looks really cool." And now you engage them in a conversation. And studies have shown 85% of the time, if you use a product in a treatment, there's an 85 to 90% chance that they will buy it for themselves at home use. And this is where you're going to really beef up your revenue, because we don't sell through chain stores, the GNCs, CVS. They've asked us, we always say no, that's not our business model. We want to support you, the practitioner who is giving hands-on help, very targeted audience. Your audience is ours. They're affluent, intelligent, educated, and they're proactive about their health. The proactive piece is the most important part.
Excellent.
And so now they're seeing how this stuff works in the treatment. They're going to want to buy it for themselves at home use, for their friends. So, and we do drop ship. So if you run out of product, you could just still place the order for your customer. We'll drop ship it to them, and you'll still earn the 40. The margins are between 40 and 57%. So
excellent. Well, that's wonderful. So they can go ahead and go to www.energybits.com.
All right. Scroll to the very bottom. There's a little form that says wholesale. Click that button. It will lead you to a form to fill it out. Or you could just email us at wholesale@energybits.com.
Wonderful.
And that's the easiest way to do it. So,
Catherine, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Thank you for doing this. This is awesome. I'd love to do it again.
Here from the Cryocon 2024 in Plano, Texas. And I'm going to see you at the biohacking conference.
You will indeed.
In a couple months.
You will indeed.
It's I'm looking
We're
forward
everywhere.
to it. Yeah, exactly.
Like algae.
Like algae.
That AI. Oh, I love it.
There you go. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon.